I don't think there's a person that I've met that has a bigger heart and a bigger desire to succeed than Coach O. So with that, it's my pleasure to announce to you the next head coach at LSU, permanent head coach, Ed Orgeron.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar. We sat here last week and we wondered if, when we sat here this week, we would know the permanent head coach at LSU, and yes, we do. With Jordy Hultberg, I'm Tommy Kreisand. For the first time in 12 years, LSU has a new permanent head football coach, Ed Orgeron. Mixed reactions. Yeah. I think predominantly favorable, although I've heard some negative and some harsh negativity. But as you said before we began the program, you know, it is what it is. He's the coach and not going to change it. Now, Ed Orgeron from South Lafourche High School, LSU for 2 weeks, Northwestern State. He's now the head coach of the LSU Tigers. Jordy.
There is no doubting that was the job that he wanted. He said every step he took along the way was in hopes of one day being where he is right here, right now. Whether you like it or if you don't like it, whatever happens, coaches come and go. LSU's here to stay. He's the coach. Let's get behind him, and let's see what he can do. He already got Dave Aranda to sign up. That's a good thing. Now he's going to have to find an offensive coordinator, have to find a special team coach, and let's get rocking and rolling.
Well, and you said it. I think if you're an LSU fan, even though you may not initially like this hire for whatever your reason may be, if you're an LSU fan, you support the school, you support the program, you support the athletic department. Jordy, you played basketball at LSU.
I'm all for it.
And I'm sure you've not agreed with every basketball decision that's been made since the day you left the court, okay? I'll be honest about that. But you still have always supported, because I've seen you on TV and radio for decades, and you've always supported the program. You encourage people to go to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center and let things happen. Same thing's got to happen with football. I mean, he's taken over a program that's in pretty good shape, but he's also wise enough to know there are some things that have to be addressed, and he's going to address them. I like the fact that he came out and said, you know, Alabama's the benchmark. We got to get better than them. A lot of coaches wouldn't have said that. I don't want to say the other school's name. You're going to get candid answers from Orgeron. I think that's refreshing, and I like that. Just like I talked about when Miami of Ohio came in here about 30 years ago and beat LSU in football, and Bill Arnsparger went to meet the media and said, Coach, what happened? He said, we got our butts whipped. There was no tap dancing. There was no, well, we tried this. And he said, we got whipped. Yeah. The truthfulness goes a long way. I think that is what we have got out of Ed Orgeron. That's what you're going to get going forward. And I think LSU fans need to cherish that.
And look, don't be fooled. Ed Orgeron's a smart cat. He knows what he's doing, and we said this from day one. What did he do? Well, he won the crowd with his opening press conference. I'm one of you. This is where I want to be. He won the media, allowing the media access to watch practices. He won the players, shortened practices up. We're going to go quick, but we're going to go hard, but we're going to get you off your feet. He put it all together. It was a perfect storm. And whether he was their first, second, third, fourth choice, you can speculate all you want. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and he finished number one. Let's get behind him. Let's go.
As important to me as anything that's been talked about, and Joe Oliva made reference to this in his opening comments on Saturday, what they did after losing to Bama, go on the road and whip Arkansas. After losing to Florida, 4 or 5 days later, go on the road and whip A&M. 2 conference road games. Okay, Arkansas and A&M struggled a little bit. It don't matter. They were supposed to go whip their butts. They did. So how they responded to the adversity. We played sports. It's easy to grin and be happy when all things are going good. It's how you respond when you've been knocked to the mat or you've been decked. You can get up and you can do one of a couple things. This team, with his leadership, bounced back. He has to get credit for that. Just like had they got smoked by Arkansas, smoked by A&M, he'd have got the blame for it. So you got to give him the credit.
Perfectly honest with you, after the Florida loss, I did not think that he'd be in the position that he is today. I did not. I really did. Now, granted, outstanding job, putting up a lot of points against Texas A&M. And you got to give Steve Ensminger some credit here, too. I mean, how many records have they set with him? And he's not going to be the offensive coordinator, but Ed did say he's going to be a part of our staff, whether that is the quarterback coach / passing game coordinator, which is what I think he'll be, or whatever it may be. So, but I really didn't think Ed would be in this position. So the dominoes fell the right way. And, hey, he apparently knocked their socks off with his interview with his binders. And good for him.
Here's the other thing. Hypothetically, if for whatever the reason Les Miles coaches his team through the A&M game, regardless of what happened, didn't happen, and then he's dismissed, Ed Orgeron doesn't get this job.
No.
The 7-game, he thought it was going to be an 8-game audition, turned out to be big because he convinced Joe Oliva and the powers that be. As you said, he pushed all them right buttons and he let them know that, hey, I can do this. He wouldn't have got the audition. And again, I'm being purely hypothetical here, but I'm just pointing out that he had an opportunity that you don't always get to audition for the job you really want, and he got an A+. In spite of 2 losses, he got an A+.
It's the little things, too.
Oh, it's always about the little things.
It's the punctuality. You say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, you're there. If a press conference is supposed to start at 12:30, it doesn't start at 12:45. It starts at 12:30. And those little things, and they mention that. And the fact that he's enthusiastic at work, he went and shook hands, he was out in the public, he was out recruiting, doing all those things. Those little things add up, build up, and
we don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know how much he's getting paid, but it's going to be a lot more than $650,000.
It's going to be in the ballpark of $3.5 million a year, 4 or 5 years. We don't know what's going to happen. The day Nick Saban was hired, you couldn't get anybody to tell you they knew he'd win a national championship.
No.
And even when Les Miles got hired, taking over a program in good shape, you didn't know. But here's Ed Orgeron taking a program over in pretty darn good shape. He recognizes some things that have to be done, and he's going to address that. And I'll close my thought on that with saying this. If in 2, 3, 4 years this is not successful, it will not be because Ed Orgeron didn't bust his butt 24/7, 365 trying to win a championship. I think you if you're a Tiger fan, you can find comfort in that. He's going to spend every waking minute trying to build a championship for LSU because there's only one thing that could be better for Ed Orgeron, and that's if he's holding up the national championship trophy as a coach of the LSU Tigers. So he is going to go for that. The passion, the desire, the big heart, it's all there. I think if you're an LSU fan, even if you don't like this, get behind it and let's see what happens.
They will. They always do. It's just
tough schedule next year.
Well,
6 home games, 5 road, one neutral.
That schedule this year we thought was going to maybe help him, but the Florida game was here and he lost it. So who knows? You roll the dice and let's see. Like you said, perfect case. Nick Saban. Who knew? Who knew? Hindsight's wonderful. Les Miles? Who knew? I swear to you, I said, this 3 years max. Shows how much I know. Shows how much I know. And then you hire Trent Johnson, who crossed all the I's, crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's. Look what he did at Stanford. Look what he did at Nevada. He comes here, and it's a terrible fit.
Went to TCU.
Terrible fit. Didn't work there either. So you never know. You never know.
Let's tell you what we got coming up on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. We remind you, original airing each week on a Wednesday. If you're catching this on a replay Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, something could have transpired in one of those days that we don't address. But we've been doing this for 10 years now. I think everybody understands the drill. On tonight's program, we're going to hear from Ed Orgeron. Going to let you hear everything that he had to say. You may have seen it. I know Tiger fans want to see it again. If you didn't see it, we've got it for you. Also, coming up on tonight's program, Buddy Sanji. I mean, it's 12 years since LSU hired a head coach in football. We're going to have Buddy Sanji come in with his thoughts. We're going to have Charles Barbery, the Rooster, come in via the phone. Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com, Ronnie Rance. We want to get everybody to say what they're thinking about all of this so you can help decide what you think about all this. So Ed Orgeron's the head coach. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Christ, and we're coming back with more of Tigers Roar right after this pause. Stay with us.
Immediately after the LSU game, it's Pelican Sports post-game show with Tommy Krysan and Buddy Sanji. We'll have reports from the stadium, statistics, and game analysis. Your phone calls and text messages are welcome. The Pelican Sports post-game show right after the LSU game on Pelican Sports TV and CBS Sports Radio.
Here at Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations. Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net. We continue with Tigers Roar, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. I'm looking at this gift basket that we've got. Man, good stuff. I see my favorite stuff, sprinkle spice, Tremonti's meat and seafood. Jordy, why don't you tell everybody about Tremonti's meat and seafood, great gift basket.
Tis the holiday, tis the holiday season. You get all this, couple of fillets, you get a nice bottle of Cab, a little sprinkle salt, spice, all put together, wrapped up, and $49 gets you that. They also have the sirloins,
Slow down.
What is it now?
The
ribeyes for $39. So there's the fillets, all wrapped up, fresh, done every day for you. Makes a great gift basket for employees, for family members that you don't know what to get. You're not going to find a better Chairman's Reserve beef than this. It is outstanding. It's at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. You can call them 751-7665. 751-7665. How was your turkey for Thanksgiving, by the way?
All of them were outstanding. Everybody, I know a lot of people that got turkeys from Tremonti. Some got the rotisserie, some got the fried. Everybody loved it. They loved all the side dishes.
Good.
Everybody was very, very happy, including me, who ate plenty of it. Tremontis.com, and they can do all of that again for Christmas. And they got gift cards over there. They got everything.
All the spirits, all the wines, and you know what they're great for at Christmas time? They're prime rib.
Prime rib. I love me some prime rib.
You get a big old rack of that, put it on your pit, and cook that thing, or they'll rotisserie it for you. Holy cow! Amazing.
And again, these gift baskets, they're great. They can make them big, medium, small, like Jordy said, for your employees, for your neighbors. You want to have a little something there when somebody brings you that gift when you didn't have them on. Oh, boom!
There you go. Oh, yeah.
Gift basket. Here you go.
It's great. You know,
I used to do that with cookbooks. I keep a couple of them wrapped up in case somebody dropped in and gave me a present. Oh, yeah, I got one for you.
Last minute shopping for Dad, Grandpa. This works. This really does work. Next door neighbor, the mailman, if you want. You know.
And like I said, this sprinkle spice stuff. A+.
There you go. Tremonti's.
Putting it on everything.
Tremontis.com gives you all the answers you need. It's very simple, very easy, and they've got everything you want and then some. Did you try the carrot souffle?
No, I didn't try that one. I didn't do that one yet, but I like carrots. They improve my vision.
But it tastes like candy. It's candy.
It's good. A little sugar in there.
Oh, it's so sweet. So
all
good.
right. So you go to Tremontis.com. Ed Orgeron, I didn't think there'd be a press conference Saturday. I thought more like Monday, Tuesday. Boom, I get the email early Saturday morning, noon. Presser to name the coach. Yep. Within a couple of minutes, everybody knew it was Ed Orgeron. It didn't take long for that to get out. Yep. So we want to share that with you, and you can hear from not the interim head coach, but the head coach of the LSU Tigers, Coach O.
You know, we've had our man here all along. And before I really get into this, I want to thank some people. I want to thank President King Alexander and the board leadership. 3 of the board leaders are here today. The chairman of the board, Scott Ballard, Steve Perry, the chair-elect, and Blake Chatelaine, the chairman of the athletic committee on the board. They have been my sounding board. They've been, technically, I guess, the search committee. And they've been great to work with, and I really thank them for their support through this whole process. This thing was never going to come down to a bidding war, and it was something that we knew that Coach O was never going to play games with us. We know where Coach O's heart is. We know where his love is. We know where his passion is. And at the end of the day, only one candidate got an official offer from us, and it was accepted this morning. I don't have to explain to you what Coach O is about and what he means to LSU football. It's part of his DNA. He grew up wanting this job. This is his dream job. At the end of the day, we're striving for a culture of excellence here at LSU. Excellence in everything we do, on the field, off the field, in the classroom, in the community. And Coach O gets that. Earlier, I put out a list of criteria of things that I think were important for the head coach. Coach O hits every one of those criteria. There'll be some critics that say, oh, look at his record at Ole Miss. You know what, that was a long time ago. And in this world, people learn more from their mistakes and their failures than they do from their successes. And believe me, Coach O realizes his strengths and he realizes his weaknesses. And his strengths are going to be tremendous here at LSU. There's no question in my mind he's going to assemble the finest group of assistant coaches in the country. His passion is unbelievable, and you could just see how the players responded to him. You could see how in 8 short weeks he changed the culture on the team, changed it immensely. He changed it from a culture of individualism to a culture of team and everybody loving and working together. In football, it's all about team and it's all about working together. I needed to hear these 3 words from him: preparation, passion, and excellence. I think those 3 words symbolize Coach O. And yet, at the end of the day, it really was no choice. There was absolutely no choice but to hire Coach O. When you looked at how the team responded after 2 very tough losses, I think you really get to see what leadership and motivation is all about. Tough loss to Alabama, we come out the next week against Arkansas and play tremendous and beat them badly. A very devastating loss to Florida, we come out the next week, and not the next week, in 3 or 4 days, and beat A&M soundly on their home field. I mean, that is what real leadership and motivation is all about, and that's what this man symbolizes to me. There's no question in my mind that he's going to be able to recruit the state of Louisiana. He's one of the finest recruiters in the country. And when you put together the talent that we can gather here at LSU, with the coaching staff he's going to put together, it's the formula for championships. And that's our goal here, is championships and to compete at the highest level. You know, yesterday I got a phone call from Pete Carroll. I know you all know who Pete Carroll is. And he said to me, Joe, a leader has got to have a big heart. It's all about heart. And he said, Coach O has the ability to get the most out of people. He has the ability for to motivate people to do things they don't think they're capable of doing. And you know, that just stuck with me. And I thought about it, and I don't think there's a person that I've met that has a bigger heart and a bigger desire to succeed than Coach O. So with that, it's my pleasure to announce to you the next head coach at LSU, permanent head coach, Ed Orgeron.
Thank you, Joe. Welcome, everybody. Good to see everybody today. And just the last 8 weeks, the support that Joe Oliva gave myself every week, every day. We worked hand in hand through Derek Panoski and our staff. And Joe was right there with us the whole way. Gave me the full reins as head coach. His support, his guidance when things were good, and even more than when things were not so good. And the phone calls I got from him on Sunday mornings after the loss, keep going, keep going, keep going, gave me the motivation to lead this team. I want to thank you. I also want to thank King Alexander, the Board of Supervisors, for entrusting me the greatest job in the country. And I want to let you know that myself and our football team is going to represent you guys in the best way that we can. And growing up in the state of Louisiana, watching the Tigers play, we get it. And we understand what you gave to us and the accountability that we have to the people in the state of Louisiana, to LSU, and everybody that's played here before. I want to thank my wife, Kelly, and my family, Parker, Cody, and Tyler, for being there with me. My pastor's there, Pastor Jacob, and those guys have been my support system the whole way. And I'll tell you, before I went to bed last night, Kelly says, you're going to be the head coach at LSU tomorrow. I said, have you been reading the paper? We always believed, and Pastor Jacob and I said prayers every day, and along with Pastor Steve from Church of the King down there in Mandeville. And I want to thank all the people from Louisiana, the prayers and the support. And everywhere we go, Coach, we want you to be your coach. We want you to represent us. And we understand that. We get that. But most of all, I want to thank our players. What a tremendous job our players did through weeks of adversity and pulling together, and to see the joy in their face and see them to come together, one team, one heartbeat. I'd like to thank our coaching staff. What a tremendous job that they did, coming together, sticking together. The game that Steve Ensminger called at Texas A&M after fighting through the adversity. What a great, great Tiger. I want to thank our support staff that's here. Everybody pulling together. Annie, I want to thank you. First time we met you, we just felt that we would be family one day, and I think that you're a wonderful, wonderful lady. And I know we're all going to have a tremendous relationship together. The former players walking through the Tiger Walk just come and support us. And the day I went to Mike Anderson's and all the great players were there, and just everybody pulling together. Coach, we want this. Coach, thanks for letting us come by. The guys that spoke to the team, Patrick Peterson before the game, all the greats. We know what we represent. We're proud to be a part of Louisiana, and we understand LSU, what's it mean to Louisiana and winning championships. My goal is to build a championship program fast, very fast. And I understand the expectations of LSU, and I invite them because I have the same expectations of myself and my staff. My plan is to take my time and assemble the best staff in America. We have some great coaches on our staff right now, led by Dave Aranda, and he is the best coordinator in football, and we plan on him being with us. I spoke to him this morning. We're happy that Dave is an LSU Tiger. I promise you that. We're going to go through the recruiting process. We're going to be out on the road tomorrow, going out to see the best players that we can, and then we'll evaluate our staff after the bowl and look to get the best staff that's possible in America. And I understand that we have great coaches on our staff, and we'll give everybody a legitimate shot to be a Tiger. I just want to thank the media. You've been great to me the whole time. Been open, come to practice, been very fair in everything that you write. I want to thank you for the positive things that you've written about our staff, about our players. This is about our players and giving back to the state of Louisiana. This is a great day. This is a great day of my life, obviously, but it's not about me. It's about the people of Louisiana. It's about LSU, about all of us pulling together, one team, one heartbeat. Last of all, I'd like to thank my mom, and I thank my dad. For all they done. They done. Made me the man I am today. But hey, we have a team meeting on Monday. Go out recruiting. I'm gonna call on my recruits today. A lot of them are excited that I'm the head coach. Thanks for the opportunity. We have great relationships with all the parents and the families. We're going to get to work. We know how to do this. We understand the expectations, and we're ready to go. Any questions?
Head guy.
Again, it's still going to be about the team, the people of Louisiana. It's never going to be about me. And I'm never going to make it about me. I just know this. I'm trained, ready to do this. I've had my chances before. I've learned from my mistakes. I'm ready to build a championship program along with a great staff. I'm going to need support in all areas. We're going to get the best staff and the best team together for the LSU Tigers.
Yeah, Ed, right here. What's it to say for a guy that 2 years ago was trying to get back into college football, and now you're the head coach at a dream job you've always wanted?
Great opportunity. Keep knocking at the door. I want to thank Les Miles for hiring me here, Frank Wilson for helping me get on the staff. This is a place that I always wanted to be at. I feel that the time that I spent at USC as an interim head coach allowed me to be a better coach at LSU, and the day has come where it's time to be the head coach and have a lot of success.
Coach, over here on the left, down left, you mentioned Dave Aranda when you were just talking. Can you go into more detail about maybe what he said to you after he heard you got the job and your confidence level that he stays here as DC?
Yeah. He's happy, and I'm happy, and Dave and I have a great relationship, and I totally expect him to be with us. We understand that he's one of the top guys in the country. People are going to come after him. Joe and I had a great conversation about Dave, and I feel confident that he's going to be with us.
Coach, right here, we've heard a lot about this binder that you had and your vision for the future. Just can you tell us a little bit about that and you know what went into that presentation and what it was like for presenting that to the board and
Yeah, well, you know, just years of coaching, 33 years of coaching, and you know, being at Arkansas on the Hatfield, learning how to break down film, learning special teams under them, learning the weight room. I worked in the weight room. Going to Miami under Jimmy Johnson, one of the greatest coaches, along with Pete Carroll, that I've been, seeing those great players, how to recruit, how to evaluate. going to Syracuse with Paul Pasqualoni, learned how to work on Saturdays in the spring and sometimes Sundays. He was an excellent coach. When I got out there, I was trained. The things I learned at USC, and then really, Pete Carroll made me a complete coach. And I put all those things down in thoughts, all the things that we had done in those great programs have become our program here at LSU, and presented it to Joe. And Austin Thomas and Derek put that together for me. And it was just things that I learned from great programs, some championship programs that I learned that I believe that LSU ought to be and will be a championship program.
Coach, here in the middle, since this is about Louisiana, there's 4 million people in the state and millions more want to know what exactly are you going to do with the offense, and what is the offensive blueprint that you presented to Joe Oliva?
We're going to look at recruiting the best offensive coordinator in football and bring him to LSU. And I do believe that nowadays that you have to run the spread offense. You have to have dual threat quarterbacks that can run the ball and throw it, but you have to have somebody that knows how to run it. We still want to be a physical football team. We have great backs at LSU. We have one of the best backs in the country coming back next year in Darius Geis. We're going to recruit some of the best backs in the country, and we have some great backs on our team to have in place, so we have to use those guys. But we want to use our skill sets. We want to use our tight ends, throwing the football like we did to our tight ends in our last game. But we have a blueprint. I have a mindset on what we're going to go get and who we're going to go get, and we're going to go get it.
Coach, way back here in the back, along those lines, how important is it to find an offensive coordinator that can not only put up points but play a complementary style? So much up-tempo spread these days. Offenses are on and off the field. How important is it to find a coordinator that can play that complementary style?
No, listen, LSU deserves the best in all coordinator positions, and I plan on doing that. And the offensive coordinator that we're going to bring here, we have a couple guys in mind that's going to be able to do all that and more that you ask. No. I thought that we had to do some things to get fixed right away and play very well, but I always felt that I always had a chance to be the head coach here. And that was through the leadership of Joe Oliva and the board. And we always had a glimmer of hope. Now, after the Florida game, we knew that we had to do some things, but I always had a chance. I thought we had a chance, and all we ever wanted was a chance.
Ed, when and how and who told you that you had the job?
Well, Kelly and I went to bed real early last night, said my prayers, and 5:30 this morning I got a call. It said, Joe Oliva. I missed it, but I called right back. He says, how you doing? I said, great when I hear your voice this early. He said, Ed, I'd like to meet with you this morning. Can you be here? I said, yes, sir. So I woke up Kelly, and we got going. And then I met Joe at 7:30, and then we had a great discussion at 7:30 this morning. Then we went talked to the board. We had a great morning.
And if somebody comes in from the outside, they've got to take stock of the talent and things like that. Already having had the interim role, already sort of playing that out, how much of a head start does that give you towards building the program towards what you want it to be?
It gives us a great head start. We have identified some positions that we need to go out and recruit better at, go out and get some guys to come in and fill immediate roles. You know, losing Kendall Betwick and Duke Riley is two great players for us, so we need to go find guys that can fill those roles. Although we have guys on the team that can do a good job, but there are some guys out there we have to go get to be able to help us be better at some positions.
Coach, you have a personal relationship with Lane Kiffin, and obviously he's somebody that's been identified. Is he somebody that you'd like to pursue, and is that the type of coordinator you're looking for?
All I'm going to say is I'm going to go out and try to get the best coordinator in football.
Coach, you've been able to recruit people from the East Coast, the West Coast, lots of different schools, lots of different roles that you had.
What will change in terms of being the head coach at LSU permanently in your recruiting message?
Yeah, good question. State of Louisiana first. 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, any star. I don't care. We're going to get them. If we think they can be an LSU Tiger and they can perform like we want to, and they can perform in the classroom and have high character, and they have the skill sets to be a Tiger, we're starting off with Louisiana first. And then we're going to go outside our borders to get potential first-round draft picks. Mainly going to stay in the South, but obviously if there's a person with interest from the Northeast or California, we will go there. But we know that we're going to stay around on the I-10 corridor and get after as much as we can. And LSU has done a tremendous job recruiting. We look to do a better job in recruiting at some specific areas, but LSU will always be Louisiana first. You know, I love it. One team, one heartbeat. Everybody on the same page. The more people that support us, the better we are. LSU has a great Tiger family out there, and it seems like to me that the Tiger family is united as one. That's one of the things that we wanted to do when we first started the job. We got guys together. We want to become even stronger. I love that the team has supported me along with the coaching staff. They like what's going on. They're happy. They feel good. They're winning. We got some things that we need to get better, but we have their attention. And I'm just so happy for these players just to be in the dressing room, see all the hard work that they did. Hopefully we get to go to a great bowl and finish this season strong.
Ed, over here to your right. Jim Klein, Peter. Are you going to pursue a recruiting coordinator also like you're going to pursue an offensive coordinator or promote the staff, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, you know, Damon Craig's our recruiting coordinator right now and has done a good job for us. But like I say, we're going to go through this recruiting season. We're going to evaluate everything at the end of the recruiting season, at the end of the bowl, and get the best staff in America that we can in place for LSU. Everybody in the state of Louisiana ought to have a hope and a dream. And it just goes to show that when you work hard and you have integrity and you have a great background of leadership and you're around people that love sports and love football, you know, all my dad asked me to do is go to work and give a man a great day's work and do your best you can every day and be the best. He told me, he said, listen, I don't care what you do, just be the best at it. And along with that advice, there's somebody out there today that will get motivation from that. I love the people of Louisiana. I'm from there. We stopped yesterday at a gas station. Everybody came up to us, Coach, we want you to be the coach. I know Louisiana is happy today. There's a bunch of prayer groups, a bunch of churches that have been behind our side. North Louisiana to South Louisiana to Lake Charles to Booty. Everybody's happy, and so am I.
If I could follow up, Mr. Oliva referenced Pete Carroll. You know, when he first got to USC, there may have been other people that were considered for that job, and I remember he said he coached originally with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Do you think that you will coach with a chip on your shoulder, or what's in the past is in the past?
No, I'm just happy to be at LSU. Whatever, all my life, whatever it took to get there, it took, and I believe everything happens for a reason. It's just the way it ought to be, and I'm honored to be the LSU head coach today.
Ed, were you in Mandeville when Joe called you? Did you stay in?
I was sleeping in my own bed for the first time in 8 weeks.
Could you describe the hour ride here and what you thought? What were you thinking?
I was going very fast. I was listening to some of my greatest music, had the window down, and I was hollering half the way. I'm glad I didn't get stopped. That was I was just thinking about all the things that happened, really moving forward to. He didn't tell me he was going to offer me the job. I called Kelly. I said, I don't think they're bringing me in to tell me I don't have the job. And so, you know, but think about the things that I have to get done this afternoon, the things that I have to get done tomorrow. This is going to happen very fast. We got to bring in a great recruiting class, all those things. Well, you know, that movie, I had to read that off of a script, just to let you know that. But, yeah, there's no question. This is bigger than life. And driving past the stadium, I just wanted to be assistant coach here. I just wanted to have my feet on the grass, but I knew once I got here, I could earn my way up to being the head coach. I just wanted to take it one step at a time. And every step I went, I was preparing to come back home to LSU. That was my goal the whole time. Just go out and go to Miami, go to Syracuse, go to USC, be prepared, get better. I wanted to come back to be the best football coach I can possibly be when I took this job. And I feel like that happened. I'm prepared to do it.
Coach, a little bit more to the left. I know you've had these conversations already, but now that you have the full-time job, how quickly will you start recruiting some juniors to come back, and how quickly will you have those conversations?
Yeah, today, right after I finish this. And I've been recruiting them, I promise you that. And some are recruitable, some are not so recruitable. You have to understand that. But I'm going to take a shot at all of them.
Just fine. I had asked last week about how close this team was to winning an SEC championship. Alabama's been the benchmark for the league for a few years now. Any more thoughts about how far away this program is from being able to compete at that level as consistently as that?
I believe that we can compete for it very fast. Now that I've been given full reign in the future, and I have a vision, and there's certain pieces of the puzzle that have to come together, and I do believe they will come together. And once they come together, off we go.
Can you speak to those, the vision and the puzzle pieces?
Say it again.
Can you speak to both of those, the vision and the puzzle pieces, what those are?
Well, just getting the best staff in America, getting to implement a program from day one, our program, starting in the off season, starting to do the things that we want to do, starting to implement the type of offense that we want to run with the terminology and guys on the same page, and have someone run the offense that's an expert at his job. I think that's a big key. I think they're fine. I think there's a lot of stuff that we have run in practice, maybe that we haven't shown in the game because we weren't confident that we could do it. Those guys can do it. They get it. I mean, the two things in coaching is a player believes that you care about him, and you have knowledge. Knowledge is power, and that's what the coaches that we're going to hire is going to have that about them.
Coach, here in the middle.
Yeah.
Ohio State's playing Michigan right now. Two coaches are judged basically on what happens in that game.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that you will be judged on what happens on that first Saturday in November? And what do you have to do to narrow the gap and win that game?
Yeah. And yes, you are judged by that game. That's the nature of the beast. And I welcome it, and I bring it on. And I can't wait till the day that we beat those guys. And that's the benchmark. Now, we have to recruit better. We have to get players that are very similar to the benchmark of this conference. We have to get coaches that can coach at that level, and we have some coaches on the staff that can. And we got to have the mindset that we can go out and beat those guys. And I tell you what, for the most part of that last time we played them, we had it. And there's a couple of pieces missing. We plan to fix those pieces so we can get that job accomplished. That is the benchmark. Every day we go to work, we understand the benchmark. Okay, beautiful. Hey, thank you guys, appreciate you.
There it is, and all the next steps will be announced when they can be announced. That's the only way we can say that, right?
All the way to Butte. Thank you.
He's all about it. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. Buddy Sanji, the man, the myth, the legend from Buddy's Sports Talk, post-game show fame. Buddy will join us as soon as we return from this pause. With Jordy Hultberg, I'm Tommy Chrysan, Pelican Sports TV. Spread the roar.
For over 26 years, Hunt's Tire Pros has served Baton Rouge, making you the customer priority number one. Nationwide warranties, better prices, and excellent service are just a few ways we do just that. It starts with our hassle-free experience, where you're only sold what you need when you need it. So for quality service you can trust for generations to come, and all the great tire brands like Michelin and B.F. Goodrich, visit Hunt's Tire Pros on Greenville Springs Road or online at huntstire.com.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.
And welcome back to Tigers Roar. We're here on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. With Jordy Hultberg, I'm Tommy Krysan. In just a minute, we'll be joined by Buddy Sanji. But hey, we're less than a month from Christmas. Jordy, can you believe it?
True.
Time flies. And if you're in the market for some jewelry, no matter what your budget may be, Robert Roth Jewelers, 7513 Jefferson Highway, across from Goodwood Hardware near Town Center. Fine jewelry, custom design, hand engraving, jewelry repair, a little something for everybody. They specialize in engagement rings. 225-927-9444, RobertRothJewelers.com. They're also on Facebook, Robert Roth Jewelers. Your fall fashionista, celebrating 25 years in business. That's because Robert and his staff do it right. The staffs have been together for a long time. Fine jewelry, custom design. The engagement rings are their specialty. Get something made for you. No one else will have it. Hand engraving, and again, jewelry repair. Robert Roth Jewelers, extended hours for Christmas shopping. Go check them out. Tell Robert you heard TK talking about it on Tigers Roar. RobertRothJewelers.com, 225-927-9444, and on Facebook, Robert Roth Jewelers. All right, it's our pleasure to now be joined by Buddy Sanji. He hosts Buddy's Sports Talk. Radio guy, shares the desk with me for the Pelican Sports postgame show.
Wait a minute now, the longest running sports talk show in Baton Rouge history.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's been around for forever. Buddy, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, guys. You're looking dapper as always. You know, Jordy, he dresses up for you because you're the complimentary guy that's good looking enough to do TV and radio. With me, a radio guy that shouldn't be on TV, he wears sweatshirts and stuff. So, hey, you're looking dapper, guy.
He tried to pull that off. I said, that ain't flying. That's not flying. How you been, man?
I've been good. Fighting a little cold, and obviously it's been a crazy 48 hours or so with everything. Everybody ate too much turkey, and people calling Joe Oliva turkey. But for the most part, I have not been as crazy and wacky as a lot of people in town, and obviously we'll have to wait and see. But, it never gets boring in this town, J-Man and TK.
Hey, buddy, you've had a couple of days to digest it now. You've gotten tons of feedback on your show and when you're out and about doing your remotes and everything. Now that you've had a few days, your thoughts on the hiring of Ed Orgeron as the head football coach at LSU?
It's really interesting. You sit there and you look at the hires that we have all seen and been a part of, and when Nick Saban was hired, nobody knew that they would awake a sleeping giant in LSU and bring back some of that storied history and make the fans so happy and put the gleam in their eye when they won a championship as they did in 2003. And then Les, of course, was a name. I remember watching Les Miles at Oklahoma State get thrashed by Ohio State in the bowl game. A couple days later, he was a new coach, and he continued on a lot of what Nick had put him in a position to do, and won another championship and flourished for 11 years. Obviously, it was a crazy year this year when you had an early firing after 4 games. I think most people felt that was justified in light of the fact that Les wouldn't change and it was going to be a brutal rest of the season. Coach O comes in. He gets a great opportunity. I thought he did an outstanding job in an interim basis. And then, as we know, with that firing, Joe Oliva and the board had plenty of time to ascertain who they'd be able to bring in. I thought it would be Jimbo. A lot of people thought it would be Jimbo. That didn't work out for whatever reason. Tom Herman, I think most people knew once Texas got beat by Kansas the first time since 1938. You knew Herman had been there before. You knew he'd recruited there. Him and his wife loved Texas. You knew that was going to be a hard sell. Then we saw the crawler leak out. TK, we did the show that night on Thanksgiving night. I played the fiddle because you said that LSU got played like a fiddle by Chase Armstrong, the agent for Herman. And as the crawler read, it could be a deal by Saturday with Herman and LSU, and everybody said right. And then, of course, inexplicably at noon, Joe calls everybody over to LSU, and Ed gets the job. So, as always, a lot of drama. We'll see what happens. I'm going to give Coach Ogeron every chance to prove people wrong. I think he brings a lot to the table. He's never been a defensive coordinator. People certainly hold that against him. He had a bad stint at Ole Miss. I think he felt like he should have gotten the gig at USC after the interim job. He didn't. He got it this time. He knows this program backwards and forwards. He knows the weaknesses and the positives. I think the players are all in. I think the former players are all in. And as you alluded to in asking me the question, J-Man and TK, I polled a lot of people, and about 80% of the fans are in his corner and think that this has a chance. Of course, he was able to lock up Dave Aranda earlier in the week. That was a must. He can get a guy like Lane Kiffin or somebody of that magnitude for his OC. He's going to bring in an excellent staff. He's going to do a great job recruiting. It's a crazy schedule next year, especially with the last 7 games. But I think we'll just have to be patient and wait and see. But I think that he's got a chance. As we know, you're going to go through the SEC West and the SEC Championship through Tuscaloosa as long as Nick is alive, and we'll wait to see. But I think most people are ready to give him a great shot, and I think all of us are wishing him the best of luck because, as we know, and I said that all week long, with Southern and the Saints and LSU are winning, this is a greater state to live in and certainly a greater city as Baton Rouge flourishes when those teams have great years.
Buddy, tell everybody how they can catch you on the radio. Who, what, where, when?
Every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 on, of course, CBS Sports Radio, 9:10 a.m. after Jim Rome and preceding TK. Hey, Jordy, I don't know if you heard this, but it kind of hit me a couple of weeks ago. TK equals the King. How about that nickname?
Oh, don't tell him that.
I knew that would.
Don't tell him that. Look,
Buddy's got to get a hobby.
Buddy, you mentioned through all the coaching hires, we've been around a while. I can honestly say I got one of them right. I knew when they hired Curly Hallman, I went to that press conference, and he was playing with that baseball cap the whole time. I was sitting next to Doug Moore. I said, Doug, there is no way on God's green earth this guy's going to make it. And Doug went, you're right. That's the only one I've gotten right. I didn't think Les Miles, there's no way on God's green earth I think Les Miles would last 11-plus years. No way. He did. I didn't know about Nick Saban from a man on the moon. All I remember from Nick Saban was we beat their rear ends in the Independence Bowl when he was at Michigan State. So you never know. So again, like you said, you're an LSU fan. You got to jump on board. You got to support the man, and let's see if he can get the right offensive coordinator, and then delegate, turn him loose, and let's see where we go.
Look, he's going to recruit well.
Yep.
He's going to galvanize, and that's one of the things that I think Coach O did a really good job. He galvanized the Tiger Nation after there was some separation with so much controversy with the back end of Les's career. But back to Curly, Jordy, he was so bad, I literally had his wife on the show on an interview before Curly.
Oh, she was the best. She was the best thing Ed Orgeron can do now, and I don't follow recruiting, but I know there's a couple of kids from this state that committed to Alabama. Get them bad boys to flip and come back to LSU and see how that galvanizes the fan base.
Well, and look, guys, we've all been through the tragedy, and certainly for those people that went through the flood and the hurricanes and all the things that we dealt with, the foundation of the house has got to get better. They've got to get better at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And if they can bring in some big uglies and bring in some big D linemen that throw people around like empty Coke cans, they got a chance. And then, of course, the other thing TK and I have been talking about on the post-game show, even though Danny Etlin's had a nice year this year and played his best game against A&M, we've got to continue to recruit and develop quarterbacks. But it starts at the line of scrimmage for me, and I think everybody's willing to give him a chance. It's going to be interesting, and I'm not in shape to do a Coach Orgeron mimic with the voice, but I tell you, a lot of people around the country are throwing their hands up and saying, what's going on? He did galvanize this state, this community, this Tiger Nation. And as we know, don't fool with a wounded tiger. So we wish him the best of luck, because all of our jobs are a lot easier and even a little more fun and productive when the Tigers are winning.
Thank you so much, buddy. Sanji, Monday through Fridays, 1 to 3 on WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, the smartphones, the internet, the whole bit. Thanks a bunch, bud, man.
Hey, and I'll tell you, I'm a regular watcher, so, J-Man, keep him in line if you can, all right?
It's hard, brother. It's hard, man. It's hard.
Thank you, buddy, Sanji. Appreciate the bud man there. We're going to get to a break, come back. Going to let you hear from Coach Orgeron after the A&M game. There was a game last Thursday night. And we're going to get some comments from LSU players still to come. Charles Barbary, Brian Lazar, Ronnie Rance, lots of stuff for you yet to come on tonight's edition of Tigers Roar. You got something before we go to break?
How good is Darius Geis? Oh, man, that cat can scat.
He's got a shot.
He can play
at being first-team All-SEC running back. I
agree.
Right now, going into Saturday's game with Florida and Alabama, he leads the conference in yardage per game. And we know he didn't have as many touches as some people.
You're going to have Arden Key first team. You're going to have Kendall Beckwith first team. You're going to have Jamal Adams first team. Tre'Davious White.
Posick maybe.
On defense. On offense, you're going to have Posick, I think. Who else has been running like his
Geis is going to be second team, if not first.
Who else? Who's run better?
The kid at Vanderbilt, Webb.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of yards.
Other than that.
All right, let's take this break, come back. We got more for you. Spread the roar. Tigers Roar, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
We want you. Immediately after the LSU game, it's Pelican Sports post-game show with Tommy Chrysan and Buddy Sanji. We'll have reports from the stadium, statistics, and game analysis. Your phone calls and text messages are welcome. The Pelican Sports post-game show right after the LSU game on Pelican Sports TV and CBS Sports Radio.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-404-0966. 800-404-0966.
Friends, family, and community in surrounding parishes who have lost vehicles due to the flood. North American Auto Group is here to help. We have discounted over 400 pre-owned vehicles with no water damage. In addition, we have lenders offering disaster relief financing programs. We will also help you with your insurance and GAP claims. Shop online at NorthAmericanAutoGroup.com or visit us at one of our 4 locations in Baton Rouge and Gonzales. North American Auto Group. We make it easy.
Here at Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar. I want to remind you about the radio station. You heard Buddy mention it. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Great mixture of local and national programming. And I do want to give you a programming note for this Saturday, December 3rd. Carlos Brown's show will be 9 to 11 instead of 10 to 12. Because at 11 o'clock, Louisiana Tech plays for the Conference USA Championship, and we will air that game as we've done all year long on 9-10 a.m. Jordy, Buddy, myself, Dave Scandaliato on Fridays at 5 o'clock. Carlos Brown, a couple of more weeks of Ken Trahan's original prep report. And again, Carlos this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., recapping the Bayou Classic. Southern goes down to Grambling. He'll have it all day. Just going to move on the clock a little bit, so help spread the word on that. WUBR, it's on the smartphones, the mobile devices, the tablets, the computers. Just get that TuneIn app and search WUBR. Jordy, somewhere under the radar with the coach hire, Tigers went over there for the fifth time in a row, whipped up on Texas A&M.
Put up what? How many? 50?
622 yards. Darius Geis breaks Fournette's month-old record with 285 yards.
Etling was terrific.
Danny Etling threw the ball well.
You think Joe Oliva was smiling going, take that, John Chavis?
Yeah, John. No, I think there was more than Oliva. You know, they just diced up Chavis's defense. Well, after the game, Coach O, obviously at this point, did not know he'd be the head coach, but he talked about his Tiger team wrapping up the regular season by kicking A&M's butt in College Station. Here's Coach Orgeron.
Hi, guys. Great night. Great win for our team. Offensively, it's a tremendous job of rushing the ball, throwing the ball downfield. So Danny had a great game. What a great game by Darius. I was really happy for him. Happy for the team. Short week, tough loss to Florida. We bounced back. I know the defense is disappointed, but they've played great defense all year under Dave Aranda. We got exposed in some areas tonight. Now I know Dave's going to fix it. But overall, a short week, tremendous job by our staff. And I'm just pleased. I'm happy for the Tiger family and happy Thanksgiving to them. And we finally can enjoy it.
Ed, you grabbed
Steve on the field there and said, you did it. What are you talking about?
Well, just there was a couple of times I told him we need him, and he was ready. I don't think Coach Esmaker went home all week. He had dedicated himself. The minute I named him offensive coordinator, I thought Steve had done a tremendous job of keeping the staff together, doing the things that we can do, and the 54 points tonight was excellent. Did a great job of calling the game. I thought he made some tremendous calls. Steve is just a true Tiger. Obviously played here, is a great friend of mine. I have the utmost respect for him.
Was this an emotional game for you?
It was for our team. That was just for our team. It was just we wanted to finish strong. Obviously Sunday was a tough day for everybody, and but we bounced back as a team. We got after it. We had a short week. We had a great week of preparation, and I'm just happy for the team.
And it seems like this.
As one could imagine, there were some excited players after the game. Anytime you win a conference game on the road, A&M, they recruit a lot of Louisiana guys.
Got their number, man.
LSU, yeah.
5-0.
Someone's
Since
never beaten them. What's with A&M? They just tailspin every November.
Year. I'm surprised there hasn't been some upheaval.
I think there was a little heat starting to surface, and I guarantee it'll be surfacing for next year. Well, we want to let you hear from some of those players, their excitement and their conversations and comments about the big win against Texas A&M.
It wasn't hard because this is a game of adversity. It's college. You got when we look ahead and we know we got a game 4 days coming up. You got to let that pass. You got to move on. You got to be better. It's all about how you get back up from your falls. We fell hard, but we got back up. We came out and we exploded tonight as planned, and we executed.
What about yourself personally with the game you played last week, the fumble and? How hard was it for you?
It wasn't hard. Like I said, being one of the leaders out there, Leonard was out, so you got to step up. Being one of the leaders out there, you can't let stuff like that keep you down. So, like I said, it's all about being a leader. Coach O did a great job keeping our mind off of it. A lot of team function and stuff. Coach O does a great job of that. To get the game, we had a new game 4 days later. It was easy to surpass it and move on from it.
What do you think about the job Coach O has done for y'all since he took over?
He's done a great job. With us being more prepared and rested for practice and stuff, and, always reminding us that we're one team, one heartbeat. And he's a family guy. He keeps us close. He always reminds us that it's you fighting for your brothers. And when you realize that and actually just think about it and let it sink in, like we all one heartbeat. It's 11 of us versus 11 of them. Like I want Coach O to stay. Like we need somebody like Coach O, to lead us out there. And he's done a great job since he's been here.
Darius, at any time did you guys hear anything about reports of Tom Herman perhaps becoming your coach?
Oh, I don't worry about that type of stuff. I just worry about my opponents.
Darius is a stud. That's what else can you say about a player like that? He's one of those caliber of players who just, he just sets the whole new tier of what you expect, and he just blows your expectations out of the water. So he's a great player for us.
Well, what about you tonight? You were pretty sharp. Is that as good as you felt?
I think we just got in a nice rhythm, and Coach did a great job of calling some plays, and I think the guys did a great job of winning their one-on-one matchups and getting open, and we made it look easy out there. We love Coach O, and I think it would be tough to find a kid on the team, that doesn't have a nice relationship with Coach O, that understands he cares about us and we care about him, and we care about all the coaches on our coaching staff.
Danny, there was news breaking as early as the second quarter that Tom Herman might be the new head coach. Did you guys hear any of that on the sideline or throughout the night?
Didn't hear any of that, actually, no. It was just kind of a fun game, and we had some fun. Going out there and executing the game plan, and it was a pretty fun night.
A 2-2 start, 5-2, Coach O. Was it two different teams this year when he took over?
It's tough to say. I think we just we had some games where we would like to have back and stuff like that when you reflect on some of the season that's happened so far. But I think that the games we've lost recently, they were close, and if we would have had a few plays go differently for ourselves, then I think we'd be talking about a whole different deal here.
It seems like a lot of players just love Coach O and want him to stay. But what if he doesn't stay and somebody else comes in? Is it going to be hard for that person, a new guy?
I don't know. I'll have to tell you if that actually happens. So I'm not really big into answering hypotheticals.
Danny,
of young guys stepped up, a lot of guys that we're going to need in the future, and you got a glimpse of them tonight.
I think the 3 biggest single-game rushing performances in school history have all come this year. That's something you guys take pride in as an O-line?
For sure. I mean, we have some great backs, and they make us look good. So we have the easy job.
Will, was that as good as the offensive line has been this year? I mean, it looked like that y'all never had any problem making yardage.
I haven't watched the film yet, but just the feeling of the game. We all felt good, and we all felt like we were able to do what we wanted to.
How hard was it getting over the Florida game?
It was hard, but we had a good A&M team, and we had to get ready to come in here. They had a great fan base, and they all showed up, and we were able to handle business.
A couple of players all excited, and you would think they would be, and now they, it's important to get those practices in for whatever bowl they're going to go to, and we don't know what bowl. We'll know this by the time we're sitting here next week.
Yeah, always a great chance to practice and to get better and to plant that seed in Coach Orgeron's mind for next season. Absolutely.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by the Rooster, Charles Barbary, longtime Sports Talk TV right here on this station, some 17 or 18 years, and we know he has some thoughts on the hiring of Coach Ed Orgeron. We'll hear from the Rooster when we return after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
It's a male
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology, and our highly trained staff have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal and she makes your dreams come true.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment. 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source. We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan with you, continuing to talk about the hiring of Ed Orgeron. The Rooster, Charles Barbary, longtime Pelican Sports TV here on the station on Sunday nights with reruns and stuff. So many people enjoyed that for so many years. Good evening, Charles. How are you?
Good evening, Tommy. Thank you for having me on, man. It's good to hear you.
All right, good to hear your voice as well. Wanted to get you on. It's not every day LSU hires a new head football coach. Been 12 years basically since it happened before, and you've always been all about LSU football, a key ingredient to your program for so many years. Tell us, Charles, you've had a few days now to let the dust settle. Your thoughts on the hiring of Ed Orgeron?
I wasn't very happy with it. I was elated with it. I am very excited. I think this is.
You threw me a curveball there.
On Friday that they were going to hire Tom Herman, and I wanted Orgeron. I think for once, LSU has a football coach, not just a personality. They have a guy that gets his hands dirty. I think it's somebody that the players can identify with, play for. I think somebody the fans can identify with and root for. Fantastic recruiter. We know his positives and stuff. I'm very, very optimistic about the future of LSU football.
Charles, as always in a coach search, and you've been through more than a handful of them in your time in the media and as an LSU fan. As usual, you got to kick out about 95% of the stuff that's rumors and situations and issues, and as it boiled down, they pick a guy who certainly loves the job, and if we sit here 2-3 years from now and he's not successful, I don't think it'll be because he didn't try 24/7, 365.
I'd agree 100%. There's no guarantees on anything. You have no idea. You have no guarantees that if you had hired the coach du jour, and this time Tommy Herman, about it, that he would have been successful. Just because you throw a lot of money at somebody doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be successful in what they're doing. I think that he has more upsides than any of the other coaches. I think he has more. I think he's more enthusiastic about the job. If somebody wants it, he's not just here for the money. He's not just here to collect a paycheck. He's going to do his job hard and go out and represent LSU in the state of Louisiana extremely well.
Charles, it's all about recruiting. He hit the ground running, making calls after the press conference this past Saturday. A couple of changes already been announced to the coaching staff. Earlier this week, they nailed down Dave Aranda. They'll mention an offensive coordinator whenever they can make mention of it. So, as he said at his press conference, I mean, he's full speed ahead already. He didn't, sit back and light up a cigar and go eat a steak and say, what am I going to do tomorrow? He got right to work, and I think LSU fans need to know that and appreciate it.
I do. I think one of the things that you're going to look at, too, is I think it's going to become legendary as time goes on. Those two binders that he brought to his interview with Oliva and the rest of the Board of Supervisors that are looking at him. I think that he's extremely well organized. He has a plan in place. He knows what to do. He's going out and do it. I'll give you one little example of just how he's so different in the way he operates. Just his media luncheons on Monday afternoons, Tommy, he shows up on time at 12:30, and the thing is over with by 10 minutes to 1. It doesn't last the whole half hour most times. The reason being, he gives short, concise answers that you don't need to ask a bunch of follow-up questions to, and he covers his points and gets his message across real easy and real quick. And he's very well organized, and he knows what he wants to say and what he wants to do.
Charles, it's Jordy Heltberg here. The thing that impressed me that may get overlooked a little bit, when he got the interim job, they gave him the opportunity to keep whoever he wanted on the staff. He let Cam Cameron go right away. I never like to see anybody lose their job, but for the betterment of the program, he got rid of Cam Cameron. As soon as he got the job on a full-time basis, he got rid of Bradley Dale Pivito as well.
If he had somebody that he could have replaced him with.
And the same thing with...
I think that speaks a lot for him. I really do. He knows what he wants to do. He's going to go out and do it.
Yeah. Bradley Dale Pivito as well, when he got the head job. He's not afraid to let friendship get in the way of business, and I respect him for that.
Yeah, and I think when we find out whoever winds up being his offensive coordinator and he has an opportunity to start putting his own staff together, I do think you're probably going to. It's going to be interesting to see how the recruiting here turns out. It's going to be interesting too to see if he can fill in those linebackers that he has to find, and to see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I really am. I see. I don't know if we're going to be able to challenge Alabama the first year, but I think within the next 2 years we will be.
Charles Barbrey, great to visit with you. Again, congratulations on a long run you had on this station with Sports Talk TV. And we're not going to be strangers. We'll get you folded in here from time to time going forward.
Thank you, Tommy. I've enjoyed it very much. Take care. Good luck.
All right. The Rooster, Charles Barbrey.
Greg Bowser looking for a gig now.
Yeah, Greg. How about that? He'll find one. All right. Can I make a brief commentary to the Texas Longhorn fans? I don't think any of them are watching, but I got something I want to say. Can I do that?
Of course, yeah.
let me tell you something. Don't think Tom Herman's coming in there and waving a magic wand. Charlie Strong inherited a mess left by Mac Brown.
Got some good players now.
A mess. Mac Brown's last year, for the first time in the history of the NFL draft, a Texas player wasn't taken in the NFL draft. The talent level at Texas has been built back up a little bit by Charlie Strong. Obviously, he didn't finish his plan. They got rid of him. Dear Texas fans, Herman's not waving a magic wand. I'm willing to say that the Texas talent level is not that far ahead of Houston's, maybe in some positions, maybe not. And it's going to take him a little while to build up that Texas program because they think, okay, Tom Herman, and what he did at Ohio State with the third-string quarterback, we know the story, but he's not coming in. Ed Orgeron's taking over a program that's in better shape than the program Tom Herman's taking over. And Texas fans, you might want to be a little bit patient. I'm just saying the talent level at Houston is right there with Texas.
And for all those that yes, it was time for Les Miles to go, but Les Miles did his job as far as bringing talent in. Now the execution of that talent and the development of that talent, whole different story. But he brought the talent in. The cupboard is far from bare.
He's taken over a program in very good shape, and he's smart enough to know what places they need to polish up.
That's right.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Brian Lazar, TigerBait.com. Want to hear what Brian has to say about the hiring of Coach Ed Orgeron, and we'll do that right after this pause on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Internet at PelicanSportsTV.com, YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Stay with us.
We want you. Immediately after the LSU game, it's Pelican Sports post-game show with Tommy Krysan and Buddy Sanji. We'll have reports from the stadium, statistics, and game analysis. Your phone calls and text messages are welcome. The Pelican Sports post-game show right after the LSU game on Pelican Sports TV and CBS Sports Radio.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan with you. And we do want to remind you that we are going to now visit with Brian Lazar, TigerBait.com. Brian, good evening. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, Brian. Thanks.
Brian, you a couple days to digest it now. Your thoughts on the hiring of Ed Orgeron as football coach at LSU?
Well, if you look at what happened over the last 2 months, there was no doubt that Jimbo Fisher and Tom Herman were the two guys at the top of LSU's list. And obviously there was always going to be a question whether or not they were going to be able to get either one of those two guys. So therefore LSU had to keep in mind, okay, if we can't get these two, who's next up on the list? And what occurred over the 2 months is that Ed Orgeron, with his live audition as LSU coach, he basically moved himself ahead of all of the second-tier candidates, where you're talking about Larry Fedora, P.J. Fleck, Justin Fuente, Mike McIntyre. And so that meant that by going 5-2, that if it fell through with either Fisher or Herman, Orgeron was in position to get the job. And that's exactly what happened. Now, you look at, Tom Herman, everybody knew that if the Texas job opened up, he was going to pick Texas over LSU, and that's just what happened. So all the talk last Thursday during the LSU A&M game, that information was leaked by Tom Herman's agent, Trace Armstrong, and it was proper. In other words, when I'm saying proper, what was being said was true. Tom Herman was close to being the next coach at LSU, and negotiations are going on. The only question is, was the Texas job going to open? And on Thanksgiving night, there was no opening. But, the Longhorns lost to TCU on Friday. Charlie Strong was fired. And, as Joe Oliva said, he wasn't going to get into a bidding war with anybody. And look, why get into a bidding war when you know you're going to lose anyway? Because Herman wanted to go to Texas. So you lose there. Jimbo Fisher at Florida State, I just don't know if Jimbo was necessarily ready to move from Florida State to LSU. If he was going to move, it was going to be strictly for money. Let Jimmy Sexton try to get the most amount of money as he could. The numbers I hear, it was going to be an 8-year deal, salary going up about $100,000 each year to where it maxed out at $6.8 million. I just think LSU just said, no, we're not going that high, and he really fell out the picture, before Herman did. Now, it would definitely have been interesting to see what would have happened if Herman goes to Texas, if Ed Orgeron loses the A&M game, because I think if he loses the A&M game, I don't know if he would have been a candidate anymore. And now would have LSU going back to Fisher again and see what they could have done to close some type of deal there. That we'll never find that out, because I don't know if LSU wanted to end up with, say, Larry Fedora as its coach, which I think that's who the next guy would have been.
Brian, go ahead.
It's hard to hire a head football coach.
Yeah.
I hope everybody realizes that.
It's an AD's worst nightmare.
It's not as simple. We can just snap our fingers and we'll have all these guys that are all very good that all want to be the coach. That's not the case.
Brian, Ed Orgeron's hit the ground running on a recruiting trail. Dead period starts Monday, December 12th. He's getting a hold of the commitments. He's getting some stuff happening there. Makes a move with Bradley Dale Pivoto. Declares that Pete Jenkins will be back. Ensminger will be on the staff, but not offensive coordinator. Earlier this week, they nailed down Aranda as the defensive coordinator. They'll announce an offensive coordinator when they can. So, Brian, he's hit the ground running full speed ahead like one would hope he would.
Yeah, and there's no doubt Lane Kiffin's the guy he wants to run the offense. And you're not going to get any, public announcement on that till after Alabama's season's over, which will be sometime in January. So it'll be a while there. Now, Orgeron may know ahead of time, that Kiffin says, yes or no to him. Or now, the thing you got to worry about, well, if Alabama really wants to keep him, will they make any type of counter? And they wouldn't make that counter until the season was over. But I don't know. I just got the feeling that, those two, Nick and Kiffin, are probably ready to part ways. And so unless Kiffin pops up with some head coaching job, and right now I don't see any out there for him, where his name is being seriously considered. I really think he's going to be LSU's offensive coordinator.
You know, Kirby Smart left, become a head coach, and they announced that prior, and they were coaching all the way through to a national, through the playoffs. But you think with Lane Kiffin, because he's going from a coordinator to a coordinator, they wouldn't announce that move?
Yes, yes, that's the reason. Okay. That's the reason there.
Brian, tell us all about TigerBait.com. So much happening there right now.
www.tigerbait.com. All up-to-date news on the new football regime with Ed Orgeron, and we'll have the latest in recruiting when it pops up, and as he forms his staff, and as we head through the month of December, coverage of LSU basketball.
Brian, as always, we appreciate it. We'll visit again soon.
Okay, talk to you guys.
Take care, bud.
All right, that's Brian Lazar, TigerBait.com, with his usual solid contribution.
Absolutely.
There. We're still going to hear from Ronnie Rance in just a little bit, get his thoughts. He's joined us every week, just about every week on Tigers Roar in postgame.
I talked to someone who follows Alabama football very, very closely. And he made the point, which I think has a lot of merit. And that point is this. People are saying, well, why would Lane Kiffin leave Alabama to come to LSU? It's kind of a lateral move. Some people think it's not such a lateral, but maybe a step down a notch or two because of the success that Alabama has. And he made the point, it's such a shadow that Nick Saban casts over that program. When Kirby Smart left, everybody thought, well, maybe the defense is going to take a step down. Defense got better. It's better this year. Lane Kiffin, if Lane Kiffin can come to LSU and work and develop a quarterback to where it is a factor rather than a detriment, the doors would open wide for him at some Power 5 conference school. So that's the reason why he believes he wants to show that he can do it away from Nick Saban, where the spotlight, because if he comes to LSU and does that and makes this offense like what Alabama's done, it's not going to be at Orgeron. It's going to be all Lane Kiffin. Whereas in Alabama, anybody can win there because of the great defense and the way Nick Saban and all the great players.
Well, and that's a great point. I like that. And Kiffin's young enough where he,
he's 41.
Yeah, 5 years from now, 8 years from now, 4 years from now, he could, what school in the Power 5 conference may want him then? We have no way of knowing that, but certainly, as you said, if he comes to LSU and the offense rock and rolls and they win the West,
they develop quarterbacks.
They win the SEC. They get to the playoff and/or win the playoff. It's going to be Lane Kiffin's going to be. You talk about it. He might be the first $10 million man a couple of years from down the road because they will all want him then.
And I believe Ed will sell him on the fact you will have autonomy. It will be your offense. I'll go get you the players.
Ed's going to do the radio show.
I'll get you the players.
Show.
I'll make more money than you, but that's your offense.
And you're going to make more money than me shortly.
That's right.
Huh? What do you think? Hey, speaking of college football, here on the radio station, we all year long and for many years have been carrying Louisiana Tech Bulldog football. And we do want to make mention that this coming Saturday, December the 3rd, the Conference USA Conference Championship game will be in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Western Kentucky Hilltoppers will play host to Louisiana Tech. A longtime voice of the Bulldogs, Dave Nitz, is going to have the call. Carlos Brown will move his show 9 to 11, and then we will have the Bulldogs on at 11, kicking off right after 11.
Can we mention another school in the state?
Well, we're waiting on that graphic.
Can we mention another school?
Who?
The Raging Cajuns. If they beat UL Monroe, they're bowl eligible.
ULM matchup in Monroe Saturday, right?
If UL wins it, if Louisiana Lafayette wins it, they get 6 wins, they're bowl eligible. Going back to the New Orleans Bowl, I bet.
Somewhere. So, again, Louisiana Tech, in Conference USA, they play it at the host school, Western Kentucky. It'll be in their stadium. Yep. We'll be on ESPN. It is an 11 o'clock Louisiana time kickoff. As you'll see right there on the screen, a shot of their stadium. It is for the Conference USA title. We'll have it on the radio station, WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, 9, 10 a.m. You Bulldog fans, get it on the smartphone, the internet, the tablets. If you're running around Baton Rouge doing some Christmas shopping or visiting, whatever it may be, check that out. Tech football Saturday. And again, Carlos Brown switches and goes from 9 until 11 this Saturday. Also, the state of Louisiana, the Sports Writers Association handed out their Players of the Week. This will be the last week they do that.
I bet you Darius Geist was one
You
winner.
are correct, sir. Darius Geist, running back from LSU, no-brainer, who's the SEC co-offensive player of the week. Walter Camp Foundation Player of the Week. Otha Peters, senior linebacker for ULO, played his football at Covington High. I know he and his family well. Made 9 tackles in his home finale for ULO, because as we said, they play ULM this Saturday in Monroe. Special teams down in the Bayou Classic in the Superdome.
Beat the Jags.
Martez Carter had a kickoff return for a touchdown, bunch of punt returns. He did a great job in Gramblin's big win over the Southern Jags in the Bayou Classic in the Superdome. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Ronnie Rance, Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. We'll get yet more thoughts on the hiring of Ed Orgeron. I mean, this stuff doesn't happen all the time. We got to get thoughts,
so
right?
So far, everybody likes it.
Yeah, well, Charles Barkley did throw us a curve.
He did.
When he said,
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I loved it, or whatever he said.
That was a curveball.
I went, like, where's Charles going with this one?
Put the Kershaw to me right there.
You're watching Tigers Roar?
On Pelican Sports TV.
Spread the roar.
On Pelican Sports TV.
Oh, gee, here we go. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans.
Spread the roar.
Internet, PelicanSportsTV.com. We'll be right back.
I just want to cook these steaks. That's all I want to do.
Plus Benefits has an important message for all uninsured Americans. It's official. Health reform has now become law. Now, uninsured Americans can finally get the health coverage they need with significant prescription benefits. Have you been uninsured, denied coverage, or struggling to pay your health insurance? Well, not anymore. Now there's affordable options with real benefits for people just like you. We know health insurance cost and being denied coverage due to pre-existing conditions has created serious hardships for many Americans. But that's a thing of the past. If you're uninsured, struggling to afford, or have been denied health insurance, pick up the phone and call now. The call is free, and every caller will receive a free discount prescription savings card. Call Plus Benefits Health Insurance Helpline today and get the health insurance and prescription coverage you need. One call can change your life for the better.
Please call 800-351-1511. That is 800-351-1511.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan. We continue with Tigers Roar. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood, the gift baskets, great idea.
Yeah.
Christmas around the corner. You get a good look at that with the sprinkle spice, which I think is fantastic. I put it on everything. A little wine, a little steak. Tell us about Tremonti's, Jordy.
Get a couple of fillets, a bottle of wine, as you mentioned, and you wrap it all up, put a little bow on it, which Tremonti's will do for you, $49. It's a great gift for somebody that has everything. Who doesn't like a good fillet? Chairman's Reserve beef, just some of the things. Everyone that got a turkey for Thanksgiving, I promise you, I know they loved it. Prime rib is the classic du jour for Christmas time as well. They'll do turkeys as well, but I like that prime rib with the horseradish sauce on it. I'm all over that like a cheap suit. So anyway, 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. The phone number 751-7665. You can find out all the information. Go to Tremontis.com. The best little meat and seafood market you'll find anywhere. You know where Airline and Segan Lane intersect. Come down a little bit. You'll see Parkview Baptist School and Church. That's Old Jefferson Highway. Come on down. You can't miss it. They cater. They go out on the road. They'll bring it to your office. Whatever you need, they'll take care of it for you.
Tremonti's.com, and go check them out. Once you go in there, you'll make many trips back, I can assure you that. And don't forget the gift baskets. They are a great gift idea for your employees.
That's a good little bottle of cab, too, by the way.
The neighbors, the family, the friends, man, get it going there over there at
This
Tremonti's.
all stays the same. You can get ribeyes instead of the filet, and that'll be $39. So, good deal. Real good deal.
Tremonti's.com.
Ronnie Rance.
Ronnie Rance, he would probably go for that gift basket if I gave him one, but it's not his birthday. But it is Christmas. But Ronnie, good evening. How are you?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Is that part of the negotiation for you to come on the telephone? You got a gift basket deal out of it?
What's that? Say it again.
Yeah, I thought Trace Armstrong, he called us on your behalf saying you'll talk on the radio if you get a gift basket from Tremonti's.
Right. I definitely. I'll take a gift basket from anybody, even Trace Armstrong, who jerked LSU's chain around for about 24 hours.
Ronnie, you've had a couple of days now to digest it. Your thoughts, I mean, you were at every game, home and away, working for CST, giving us a report on a post-game show. Your thoughts on the hiring of Ed Orgeron?
Well, it definitely was no doubt that Ed Orgeron was LSU's third option. I think that the surprise, and I think Ed Orgeron's fine with that. I'm fine with that. LSU fans are fine with that. There's no doubt they went the Jimbo Fisher route. They went Tom Herman, and then they settled on Ed Orgeron. I think the surprise for LSU folks is that, and for most people that have followed this since they got rid of Les Miles, is the fact that, I think after the Florida game, most people would have thought Ed Orgeron would have been the fifth or sixth choice for LSU, not the third choice. And lucky for him, the offense was outstanding against A&M. Some other coaches, mainly Larry Fedora was one, didn't do so well on Thursday, lost to NC State, and I just think the chips fell perfectly for Ed Orgeron to kind of move up the food chain and get the dream job he's always wanted.
Well, Ronnie, you were up close with him after each game. You saw him on the sidelines. You saw him pregame, postgame, and if he's not successful in his job, it's not going to be for lack of effort. We know he loves LSU. We know he loves Louisiana. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's got a big heart, the whole heartbeat thing. He's very candid with people. He gives straight answers. He doesn't tap dance around a lot of things. And I think that's refreshing a little bit to fans who got used to these vague answers or lack of an answer. Ed Orgeron appears to be very forthright, and I think that's refreshing to the LSU fans.
Well, there's no question. You got a coach who this is his dream job. He's not looking for another. You could probably pay him about half of what he's making now, and he'd still, take the job. So that all is refreshing. It's an LSU. It's a Louisiana accent. The staff is heavily Louisiana, and quite frankly, they're the highest-paid staff in the country as it is. They'll continue to be that way, and probably then some. I'm interested to see who the offensive coordinator is going to be. I would expect it to be either Kiffin or Sarkisian, based on the history he has. They're kind of similar anyway, so you probably can't lose either one. So I think it's exciting, the future of LSU football.
Ronnie, tell us all about Sports Shorts TV and Sports Shorts Radio.
Well, Sports Shorts TV, this week we had Ruffin Rodrigue on Sports Shorts TV for the entire hour. You can check the replay. Check the replay on Thursday night right here on Pelican. And then, of course, it's on Mondays at 9, Tuesdays at 8, replays later in the week as well. And then Sports Shorts Radio, Mondays 6 to 8, myself, Buzzy Heidel, Joel Davis, on remote each and every week, Sports Shorts Radio and ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge.
Ronnie, also the TV show is at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. People can check it out, as well as some past episodes as well at their own convenience.
Before we let you go, you said you had Ruffin on. From a player's perspective, I've got to believe that they're really, really excited that Ed has opened up the doors, welcomed them back to the program, which I never understood why Les never did that. It makes no sense to me, but they've got to be kind of euphoric about this hire.
Yeah, no question he is, and I don't understand why any coach in any sport wouldn't open the doors to alumni. But he said the thing that impressed him the most is that he went to a couple Tuesday practices, and they're so well run, they're so well organized, they're so detail oriented. He saw one of the all-time greats, defensive back from Crowley.
Tommy Casanova.
Yeah, Tommy Casanova and him went to a practice, visited together, and both Tommy and Ruffin were blown away at the crispness and the organization under Coach Orgeron. And I think that's been the biggest surprise that's come out of this whole coaching change.
Ronnie, we appreciate it. We'll visit again soon.
All right, thanks, fellas.
Take care, buddy.
Jordy, you and I played all our lives in sports, and you had those teams that practiced for 2.5 hours and didn't get anything done. And then there's teams that were out there for 90 minutes and got 3 times the work done. And I believe that's when Orgeron changed everything on the minute he got the interim job. I believe that was one of those buttons he pushed that you talked about earlier that worked out well.
Steve Spurrier always says, it's not how long you work, it's how smart you work.
Great quote.
And that's exactly what they did. You don't have to be out there for 10 hours. And
Spurrier had to get to the golf course.
Yeah, players' legs are dropping, and it just makes no sense. Their attention span is limited. All of us, our attention span is limited.
I'd heard that quote before. For all you coaches who may be out there at whatever the level, it's not how long you work.
It's how smart you work.
Or it's how smart you work. That's quite profound from a guy who had a boatload of success, Steve Spurrier, right?
Yeah, no question.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We got more for you. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
You. Immediately after the LSU game, it's Pelican Sports post-game show with Tommy Krysan and Buddy Sanji. We'll have reports from the stadium, statistics, and game analysis. Your phone calls and text messages are welcome. The Pelican Sports post-game show right after the LSU game on Pelican Sports TV and CBS Sports Radio.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Friends, family, and community in surrounding parishes who have lost vehicles due to the flood. North American Auto Group is here to help. We have discounted over 400 pre-owned vehicles with no water damage. In addition, we have lenders offering disaster relief financing programs. We will also help you with your insurance and GAP claims. Shop online at NorthAmericanAutoGroup.com or visit us at one of our 4 locations in Baton Rouge and Gonzales. North American Auto Group. We make it easy.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations. Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology, and our highly trained staff have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
Thanksgiving is come and gone. Christmas time is near. You
Robert
done your
Roth
Christmas
Jewelers.
shopping yet? I hadn't even started either. But I tell you, a good place if you're looking for any kind of jewelry or jewelry repair. Robert Roth Jewelers. Been doing it for 25 years. They're celebrating 25 years in business. 7513 Jefferson Highway, across the parking lot from Goodwood Hardware, right there by Town Center. Fine jewelry, custom design, hand engraving, the jewelry repair. They specialize in engagement rings at Robert Roth Jewelers. Let Robert and his staff take care of you. They're on Facebook. They're also got robertrothjewelers.com. Phone number 225-927-9444. Extended hours right now for all the holiday and Merry Christmas shopping. Go see it. It's got something for everybody, no matter what your budget may be. Again, 25 years in business. Robert Roth Jewelers. I was in there this week. They got a little bit of everything in there.
Oh, really?
Robert, just to visit with Robert.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do check him out. They're also on Facebook. And, of course, the website has a ton of information, robertrothjewelers.com. Again, celebrating 25 years in business. We want you to head on over there for all those Christmas
Absolutely.
treats.
Good guy.
And again, the
Good
jewelry
guy.
repair thing. A lot of people have that thing on the dresser, and man, I gotta get that fixed.
Links out of your watch if
Yeah,
it's too
let him
big.
go
All
take
those
care of
simple
all of
little
that.
things they'll do. But really, really a good guy. Great place. Great place.
Speaking of simple things, one thing that I know is a big favorite of the Pelican crew, and that's when we get to eat from the House of Jumbo.
Oh, okay.
The pork roast was incredible. House of Jumbo, 4800 block of Government Street. Gets cold weather, you like some gumbo, jambalaya, gumbo. They got the side dishes, they got the desserts, they got a catering menu. 926-0970, 225-926-0970. House of Jumbo, in the heart of Mid-City, 4800 block of Government Street. Go over there and tell them you heard us talking about it on Tigers Roar. Also mentioned on radio as well. House of Jumbo, got to get that catering menu. All right, Jordy, the New Orleans Saints. Started off slow, got hot there, then had a couple of stumbles, then they looked really good against a bad Rams team. They looked good offensively and defensively. Now they got a 7-4 Lions team coming into the Dome this Sunday. Lions have won a lot of close games. They've won a lot of games in the fourth quarter. Mark Ingram with a brilliant day. Drew Brees, as usual, a brilliant day.
You think Sean Payton liked putting 555 yards on Greg Williams, the guy that cost him about $7-8 million?
As animated as you'll ever see,
he was fired
Sean
up.
Payton on the sideline during a game in a good setting. I've seen him get mad on the sideline, but heck, he was dang happy.
That's going to be a shootout with Matthew Stafford and Drew Brees. It's going to be a 40, 30-something game. And at home, I'll go with the Saints.
The Black and Gold Nation will get out there and do it. All right, we got some clips from Sean Payton and Drew Brees after that win. Again, offense looked good, defense, special teams. They kind of put it all together. I know the Rams aren't that good, but a win is a win. It's hard to win an NFL game. Here's head coach Sean Payton and Drew Brees talking about the New Orleans Saints.
Look, a lot of things as that game progressed were encouraging. I thought the guys did a lot of things well. We had good balance defensively. We did a good job on third downs. Any questions?
What about the way Mark Ingram played?
These guys played well. I mean, ran hard. He had some big explosive runs. It was good to see. Good to see for the offensive line. I thought we won that battle up front clearly. In the early part of the openers, we were a little bit more heavy pass. A lot of it's just front and coverage, what they're playing, if they're playing too high or single high. So part of it is, as the game went on, I think we did a good job throwing it. And the balance we had, you get those balance games when you convert third downs. And in the games where you don't have as many snaps, and you say, well, we didn't get to the 30 rushing mark. Well, there's a reason for that. So, but I thought we had good balance and won the battle of being the most physical team. That was clear. Tim did a good job of chasing it down. We had that play back, 7, 8 years ago. And every time we wanted to run it at practice, Colston would go to the restroom. He wasn't real excited about it. So he had a good arm. He wasn't fired up about it. And then Lance tried it one year, and we shoot about 3 different guys intercepted it. And we cleaned up some of the things we were doing, and we got the right look. Well, there's an old adage that, man, let the quarterbacks throw and let the throwers throw and let the catchers catch. But, man, that was pretty impressive. And it's funny because, we probably practiced that 3 times during the week. And I'm telling you, every ball he threw looked just like that. So, obviously, that gives you a lot of confidence as a play caller, for Sean to call that. And the funny thing, too, is Mark Ingram was the one who was catching it mostly in practice. I think Tim Hightower caught 1 walk-through rep. But sometimes, you're shuffling backs in and out, and, whoever the back is in at the time is the one who gets it. So Tim made a heck of a catch. I mean, you could see him full stride. I think he kind of lost it in the lights for a second, and then was able to find it, track it, and catch it, and then finish the job. So that was all around. That was an impressive play.
There you go, the Saints. We'll see what happens in the Dome.
Circle
on
of
Sunday.
Life, baby. Circle of Life.
Wore that song out, huh?
Then Fisher gets back to L.A.
Don't think everybody didn't know about that. That there was a little something.
What goes around comes around. Yeah. And Eric Dickerson not allowed on the Rams sideline. Fisher criticized his club. He said, "You can't stand on my sideline. Get out of here." Fisher,
well, anyway, Ed Orgeron,
Fisher's not going to be there much longer.
Ed Orgeron is the coach. When
that happened?
Yeah.
What?
Boy, wow, that kind of came, huh? So he's hitting the ground running. We appreciate Buddy Sanji, Charles Barbary, and as usual, Brian and Ronnie for joining us tonight. And again, it's not every day you hire a coach. I want to let those guys come on and let
Can
the
we talk
audience
about
hear what
basketball
they
next
thought.
week, maybe?
Yeah, we got. Well, there'll be an exam break.
Well, we can still talk about it.
Did you even take exams? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yes, I did.
Y'all didn't have an exam break.
I was on a
back
4-year
then.
plan. No.
Y'all didn't have an exam break. Y'all played hoops.
We not during exams. That was a rule back then. But as soon as it was over, that didn't mean we didn't practice.
So we'll get into some basketball. We'll know what bowl game LSU is when we get here next week, and we'll tell you about the post game after the bowl. We got some other stuff to tell you about. Don't forget, Carlos Brown this Saturday changes to 9 to 11 on radio.
Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, Washington. In the 4 mix.
Bama wins it all. It doesn't matter, but it's embarrassing to put Ohio State in there. They didn't win their division. The committee says it's all about conference championships.
It's not the final poll.
Well, I hope they're not in there.
They got one more poll to go.
They're going to turn a lot of fans off.
Got one more poll to go.
Right here.
8-team playoff. That's all we need. 8 teams.
This may lead to that. Gift baskets at Tremonti's.com. You get that. Don't forget all the sponsors. Patronize them when you can. On behalf of everybody here at Pelican Broadcasting, as I always say, it takes a lot of people to put this show together. We appreciate everybody's hard work. Most importantly, we appreciate you watching and telling people about Tigers Roar and spreading the roar. Jordy Helberg, Tommy Price, talk to you again soon.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.
Friends, family, and community in surrounding parishes who have lost vehicles due to the flood. North American Auto Group is here to help. We have discounted over 400 pre-owned vehicles with no water damage. In addition, we have lenders offering disaster relief financing programs. We will also help you with your insurance and GAP claims. Shop online at NorthAmericanAutoGroup.com or visit us at one of our 4 locations in Baton Rouge and Gonzales. North American Auto Group. We make it easy.